Good morning, friends. My name is Martin and I'm a performance coach. I'm here to teach you how to have endless brain energy, more energy than you ever thought were possible. And we have been taught that serotonin is something good and it's something that you want to have high amounts of. But I'm here to debunk that myth because serotonin is something that bears release in extremely high amounts when they go into hibernation. It's something that we secrete when we are about to go to bed because it turns into melatonin, the sleep hormone. And serotonin is made to slow your metabolism down, to make you relaxed and go to sleep. It's the exact opposite of what you want when you want to have high brain energy, when you want to perform well, you want to be focused at work, and you want to have that edge to give you extra performance. So serotonin makes it so that your energy that your body can create goes down, and if the energy that you have goes down, there's less energy available to your brain, and if there's less available energy for the brain, it means that the more primitive parts of the brain are going to get the energy first, and the more primitive parts of the brain are the ones that are in fight or flight. It's the stressed kind of brain energy, and there's no energy left for having creativity and relaxed focus and motivation and stuff like that. Because if you don't have any energy, it doesn't make sense to make you motivated. It doesn't make sense to make you go after things when you already have low energy. So serotonin is not all bad. It's there for a reason. But serotonin was first discovered in the gut, and there it was called antheramine, because antheramine means like in the gut in Latin. And so if it's made in the gut, could it possibly be that it's supposed to also stay in the gut? Because what serotonin does in the gut is that it triggers the peristalsis. It triggers your digestive tract to contract and relax so that you can get rid of your poop properly. But I don't think that it's supposed to leak out in front from the gut and get up in the brain in such high amounts that we experience today. And as I said, when serotonin gets into the brain, it lowers your energy. It makes it so that you're not motivated. It makes it so that you can't focus properly. So it's not something that you want to have high amounts of. It's pretty easy to block serotonin from getting up to the brain, and it's pretty easy to elevate your dopamine levels instead. And dopamine is the thing that makes you go after things. It's the thing that turns up your energy. It's the thing that makes you focused, and so that you can stay on track on just one thing, and be motivated to go after things that you don't have right now. So it's the exact opposite of serotonin. And therefore, by definition, you can't have high dopamine and have high serotonin at the same time. They have to be on a teeter-totter, on a level scale. So when serotonin is high, your dopamine is automatically low. And if your dopamine is high, your serotonin is always low. And so if you try to take Adderall, for example, or something else that stimulates your dopamine, it might not get you the results that you want because all that serotonin that you have is blocking your body from getting high levels of dopamine. So a lot of high performing executives nowadays, they try to take all different kinds of drugs, but basically things that turns up the dopamine, but they're not getting the results that they want, or they have to increase the dose all the time. And I know that the reason for that is because they have so high serotonin levels that is blocking the dopamine. And how do I know all this? I've been reading about health and fitness for 20 years. I've always been a driven and motivated guy, and I've always worked out. I've been playing ice hockey since I was 5 years old. And when I was 24, that's about 10 years ago or something like that, all my motivation was just gone. I used to have an easy time learning new things. I used to be very motivated. I started 5 companies from scratch. Clear Your Mind is my 6th company that I started from scratch, and they've all been doing very well. But it was like one day all my energy was just gone. And I didn't make the connections properly at the time. It took a lot of years before I made the connections, but my ex-girlfriend, she collapsed, and we always thought that she was just working too much, didn't take care of herself. But it happened 3 times, and fortunately she was always in a good spot, so she didn't wreck herself while she collapsed. She didn't drive her car or something like that, because that could have cost her life. And we didn't think so much more about it. We just thought that she was unhealthy. And then she started to sleep on the second floor of the house, the new house that we bought. It was new for us, but it was made in the 1920s, so really old house. We didn't know at the time that there was mold in the house, but the mold got into her body, and when your body have too much toxins, it shuts you down. So that's the reason why she collapsed. I noticed that I didn't have any motivation. I noticed that all the things that I used to find fun wasn't fun anymore. Nothing was exciting or thrilling, and I couldn't read, I couldn't learn. I was basically borderline brain dead. And I tried to read all the time to figure out what was wrong with me, but I was just in too bad of a shape to remember anything that I learned. And so eventually the same thing happened to me. I went up in the middle of the night, and I remember sitting down on the toilet, and the next thing I know is I woke up on the floor, and my 3 of my front teeth were missing. And I remember thinking so vividly and so clearly that this is just a dream. You're going to wake up at any moment. And I was waiting to wake up. We went to the hospital. It was 30 degrees Celsius below zero, so I was basically shivering. My teeth were crushing against each other. And I remember, can't I just wake up from this bad dream? But I never did. It was all true, unfortunately. And so later I found out that when you have too much toxins in your body will shut down to try to protect you. Because if you're drinking too much alcohol, for example, you're intentionally doing it to yourself, and you're poisoning yourself. So your body says, stop it, stop doing what you're doing. I'm going to shut you down so that you can't drink any more alcohol, so you can't intoxicate me anymore, because this is hurting me. And the same thing happened to us. And I'm just fortunate that I didn't drive at the time. I'm fortunate that I'm alive. I'm fortunate that it could have been way more serious than it was. And I took that as a sign from the universe that I am the person to spread this message. That's why I'm still alive and kicking today. I want to help other people to avoid my huge mistakes, and I want you to have the best performing brain possible. I don't want anyone to be in the situation that I was in. And when I started to detox from the molds, I was getting better and better all the time. And when I moved away from the house, it got even better really fast. So you don't even have to wait for a long time, and you will notice a difference almost instantaneously. But what I also noticed is that when I started to get my brain back and get my brain performance back, I didn't just go back to baseline where I was at before I was exposed to the mold toxins. My brain performance today is orders of magnitude greater than it's ever been, even when I was a kid and I wasn't exposed to mold toxins or anything like that. So that's when I realized that everyone, all entrepreneurs, all high performing people, everyone has the capabilities to be so much greater and have so much more potential than they think they have. So it would be a shame not to use all that potential that you have, just because you are afraid of trying something new, or you're afraid to listen to some douchebag on the internet. Try it out and you will not be disappointed. You have so much more brain power and brain capacity than you think, and you should definitely live up to your full potential. It is a shame not to. Thank you for listening today. Please share this with your friends or someone else that you think can benefit from this material. Go to www.clearyourmind.org. That's my website. We are on Rumble. And thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.